Hey all, it's the skittish one. Just checking in this weekend. It's video game weekend, so I haven't been doing a lot of pen work. But this week, I've been experimenting with dip pens. Still have a lot more to do, but I just wanted to give you a quick update on one of the videos I did a couple weeks ago about all the different pens I was trying for my journal for my new lectern journal. Tried a whole bunch of fine and extra fine and ultra extra fine nibs and came to an agreement. Well, HB Tom, one of the subscribers, and thank you all for subscribing to this. But HB Tom recommended I try some dip pens to kind of maybe change up the way I approach writing and make it a more slower and deliberate experience. It was funny they mentioned it because I had just ordered a couple dip pens from Jet Pens. Mostly for my color swatches because they're super boring and I wanted a bigger nib for a dip pen to try with. And these are not big enough, so they didn't work out for my swatches. But I did get these two dip pens and I've been working with them this week. This is a Pilot, I don't know, this is like maybe 12 bucks, I don't remember exactly. And this is a Sailor. And the neat thing about the Sailor is they have these interchangeable nibs. So you just pop this off, and if you're not using it, you just pop it in there and you can store it. So that's really cool. So I really like that idea, but in my initial, like I said, I'm only a week in. I've just been doing some work. In my initial assessment, I'm not a fan of this Sailor nib. So for an example, here's some writing I did a couple days ago, and this was the Pilot nib. You can see it's really uneven, getting used to the dipping. You write about a sentence with every dip. It's pretty uneven. So, I got to work on my hand positioning. It's a little different. And the dipping and the swiping of the nib against the side of the bottle to get rid of the excess. It's a process. So I have a lot to learn here. So this was my Pilot. And then the next day I ran with this Sailor, and oh my gosh, it was horrible. Look how uneven that is. It was not a good experience. The ink didn't cling to the nib very well. It wasn't great. So I've been doing some more work, and I finished this up this morning, I did this one this morning. I did this one just a little bit ago. You can see the ink still dry or wet. This is a different ink. This is the Pilot dip pen, and this one is the Sailor dip pen. This pen over here, same ink. I thought I'd try the same ink and see how it did, and it was very, very interesting. This it seemed like the ink clinged to it very well, clinged to the nib very well. And even when even when it starts to run dry and I stop, I have to dip and come back. You don't get huge variations in color or thickness of the line like I did initially in my journal entry. But with this Sailor, oh boy, it started out fine. And then it just got out of control. And maybe I was just getting tired. Maybe I wasn't handling the nib very well. I don't know what's going on here, but clearly I have a lot to learn. So this is just week one of me experimenting with these dip pens. HB Tom also recommended a couple other brands that, I had already ordered these. So Nico and Zebra brands of dip pen that I may branch off into, but I've already got... I bought this from Jet Pens, but Goulet sells, this just doesn't hold ink for very long. It's a process to go back and dip. And of course, I tend to over-accessorize my hobbies. So there's an accessory you can put in here. The nib is $10, and I've got a Fude nib on order and a broad on orders, just so I can... this is for my color swatches initially, but, experiment as well. But they also have a little snap-on feed you can snap on here that might regulate this ink flow a little bit better. So, and that was $4. So, I'll spend $4 and try that out and see what that's all about. So, still have a long way to go. Just check it in. Just, if you have any experience with dip pens, what is it? Give me a few pointers or give me some criticism, or, I can take anything. I can take open mockery too. I'm totally fine with that. I just appreciate the interaction and maybe helping guide me along this path. Still have a long way to go. What do you do? Do you use dip pens? What was your experience, and do you still use dip pens, or did you give up and move on? I'd love to hear about it. I'm not giving up yet, but clearly I need a lot more work. So this will probably be a month-long process, just checking in now, and we'll check in another week or two and see what's up. Anyway, thanks. Have a great weekend.